We should be able. Damn. Guys, it's been 10 minutes. I think I've been talking without audio. How incredible. Regardless, you guys missed everything then. Welcome to the stream again. Yeah. Welcome to the stream again. We're in this trade, which we just woke up and took right before the start of the stream. We'll see how this trade turns out. It is just an opportunity that I just seen. I was just saying how it's kind of counterintuitive to what we see happening over here. There is an alert for every time we interact with our area of interest. But I'm probably we'll rediscuss some things I just talked about in that 10 minutes, 15 minutes of stream that we missed. That was my bad. But I'm glad I caught it when I did. Nonetheless, we do have this rejection of the resistance on this pair, which is happening now, which we can look to take short opportunities on. Like I said, kind of counter, but an opportunity is an opportunity nonetheless. I just take them and we'll see what comes of them. Yeah, so we have this and we're just preparing for the day. It is already 12 o'clock, but nonetheless, I woke up maybe about an hour ago. So just trying to see what I need to get done today. We'll take a look at this stream and oh my goodness. So let me just retouch on, we'll see what happens with this trade. It might end up in a loss, but this was the setup that we just came off of with a 190 pip gain. We had a nice rejection of this support, 3-4 candles or so, 4-hour time frame, and we pushed off. That is where we see in the here we're getting the rejection, so we take that trade off. And that's a risk 1 for 13, which is incredible. And we actually come through, we take a few smaller loss positions, but what's important to take note of is how much I'm risking and how much I'm looking to gain in the risk to reward ratio. So whatever, we come through with some losses. Let me probably show the setups for these. So we had a setup just like this. This was the 1 hour time frame, and this one ended up resulting in a loss. This one was this, and I was just saying previously that this trade was ultimately counter trend, given that our bias is already set up for bearish. There was a slight pullback opportunity to the upside, and I'll go back and show this again. Euro Australian. But so what I mentioned, 10 minutes. Anyways, price is coming from the resistance area. This was the cross that I marked up for that picture. And so we just came back, a little rejection of the daily support, the daily resistance area. Price followed down. As it is now, we're still looking for downward activity in this. It's still set to bearish. And the daily is plotted out pretty nice just to show relevant areas, resistances, stuff like that. I'm gonna have to roll another one and get to this, but you can basically see how this one acted. So if we go down to this time frame, we can see a little based on where we were for that picture. We came back up slightly, not as high as I wanted it to go, and price ended up coming back down to hit our stop loss for this position. Stop loss negative 2.9%, 0.29%. Here was the pound Australian trade, the pound USD trade. We locked in 55 pips. This is a different time frame, so the chart looks a little different. And obviously I have some lines and some things on it, but no additional trades are taken on this. This is when we hit our target. And this is where we are now from it. So yeah, this is looking like it's going to turn bearish soon. Fully bearish. And we're just going to wait this one out, see what happens. So we're interacting with the area, and so we get the 2 notifications. I believe the stop loss does need to get adjusted in this, so that is not correct, but the target area is. You just have to ultimately define your own stop loss, which, if you know how the method works, there's the free course which explains this, everything like that. So this is ultimately the setup. We have 0.52 on this, and I think it was about a 2% risk, something like that. 0.2%. I'm trying to aim for 1, but it's mental math sometimes. Sometimes I actually spend a little more time in the calculation, but this one was just taken like that. But nonetheless, I do have to plan out the day, so we're going to let this trade run and do its thing. And I didn't get a notification for that, eh? Okay. Yeah, I have some automations running, which I may show another point in time. But this is the trade. We have a very small stop loss. I think it was what, like 7 pips? 7 for 20 doesn't make. We have 5.7. But yeah, I do need to just plan out the day and see what needs to be done. I need a notification on. So don't mind me. We're gonna just watch this trade and see what it does. Should look to see if there's another opportunity. Gold. Let's just re-upload this, make sure everything is fresh. Gold could come down just a bit. Oil shot down because of Trump's tweet. Ridiculous. So yeah, I think we will still, at least on this one, keep headed towards the downside, but we have a little bit more to make. So maybe a retest up to these areas, or just an interaction with those areas, come down to our extreme areas down below, call this move just about able to reset. Whether the trend wants to continue and just push way below, or we'll see what it does. But this is like a classic setup right here. A lot of people are going to say, okay, this is going long, come up to these extreme areas. I'll probably take this trade going down. We're at Wednesday today, so we still have a few days. I don't really tend to hold live trades over the weekend, but this one here on the 1 hour is setting up maybe Asia session, or maybe the Australian session later tonight. This will be ripe for an opportunity. I was gonna write Let's see, we have 5 pip stop loss on this. 5.7, pretty tight. But we'll let it do its thing. Good to just try to find extreme areas where you can find good risk to rewards. Like, why not? Look, we just won that trade for 5.6%. This gives us the ability to lose quite a bit more going on for the rest of the week. Lose a few trades and still be... Let's see what our numbers are. 1 second. Okay, so this is the trade that we're currently in. Should go to trade summary. When was this last updated? Today, 1 minute ago. So let's just give it a refresh. So for this month, which we're 8 days in, or about 6%, not bad. This week, where just the week might seem a little confusing. It was to me at first, but it's because this week starts on March 30th and then it goes into a few days into the month. So this is a completely different week, same month, or different month slightly. 1 day, or did we go to 31st or the 30th? I don't know. But whatever trades of March are in this, and this is March and April. Last week of March, first week of April. Closed out at this so far. So we should be able to have ability to win, to lose a bunch of trades. That's the way I think about it. If I can have a large enough winner, I can maybe sustain some losses, because losses are inevitable. And just maybe I'll have enough at the end of the whole run that I'm still in a profitable state. But yeah, this is how the stats are looking for now. The win rate went up slightly, I want to say. This week we're at 2 losses, 1 win. See what this trade wants to do. Maybe it'll whipsaw us out, hit the 161 and then go up. I was in a trade on gold on my other account and it did something very similar yesterday, but it didn't stop me out. It hit the target, but there was a large pullback at that point in time, right before it pushed up. That's the thing about this indicator and these levels that I'm looking to take my trades from, is that they are to be extreme areas. These are areas where price won't last long all the time. We'll see what happens with this trade. It is close to our stop loss area, and we do have a lot of area down here to cover as well. We just crushed our stop loss. We just crushed the stop loss. Oh well, we had our stop loss at a good area, just right around this area here for this last wick candle. We'll see what price wants to do. It can still... What the hell? So yeah, if we can still get a turnaround on this, who knows, we may try to hop into another trade. That'd put us, yeah, so we already seen what we're up for the week, and maybe this would update. This might be every like 5 minutes or so, but let's see what this comes back with. 6.5 for the month and 5.2 for the week. Should update just now. Should not be a long update. Let's see. I think I can manually refresh it, but I like to see these things work in action. I think it's doing it now. Gonna have to okay, boom, refreshed. We lost 0.2, right? Because that was just at 5.27, and we just had what, 6 point something. I don't recall. You just have to go back on the video. But our gross profit, or yeah, gross profit is this, and after fees we're at this. Average win, gross profit, that just dropped below 8 because that was just at 8. You can see the master is correct. Yeah, we still have the opportunity, but I'm not going to take a trade on this with this stop loss. This stop loss would be too much for the risk. It would make me have like risk 1 to gain 1 or something like that, and that's not really what I want to do. So we'll just wait for something a little more definitive if we're still on stream when time comes for this. But nonetheless, we should have just been updated in the Telegram, in the Discord as well. So loss, and they should be the exact same thing. But yeah, still an opportunity that I'm interested in, partially, especially as we're approaching the end of the day here. But let me see what else needs to be done. And we're just gonna not mind me. Normally if we're on TikTok, we'll be able to play music, and I probably could play some. I wonder if I can. Let me see something. So yeah, we'll just see what this does. We have the potential for the shorts on this, but I would like to get a close below this level. And it gives us our reason why. So we have a bearish rejecting candle of the daily, of the key area of the daily resistance, and it gives us the price level. You can see the price level is the same because we last rejected it. That's what made this bearish. But yeah, I don't really see many other opportunities at the moment. Like this is gearing up to be full bearish as well. And you can see the reason for it in the top left corner, 4-hour rejection of the daily resistance. This one can come down into our support area. Yeah, not bad at all. This one can come back down into the support, maybe gives us some lower time frame opportunities with the Fibonacci to go long. It's not a bad setup. We risked one, right? If we lost one, we can still ultimately do about 3. 3, or we could do one more. One more would give us 2.6 R, somewhere around there. We might get a better risk to reward from this area. But that's part of the thing about this time frame in particular, that this is going to be a lower time frame opportunity. It's not going to last too long. I figured it would last just some point in time on the stream. Let's see the other time frames for a second. This is still the 5 minute. I guess we're just loading the so we'll clean this up. Daily level, pretty nice. We're just peaking outside of that daily range right now. So yeah, this is most definitely bullish. We have the 4-hour breakout of the resistance zone. Beautiful stuff. One of the most amazing things about this indicator is the fact that every time frame shows you what the relevant levels are. No need for all that redoing it on every time frame. Like, the amount of time that I have to spend in analysis is highly decreased because I have this going. Because normally, I think we all know what the analysis process is like, and you come here, you have to spend some time setting up the charts or just making things look right. This does it. This makes all things in place. It's a very minor opportunity here. Very minor. This trend at the end of the hour, let's see. No, it's not going to do it because of the breakout. But it may update to place a resistance at its latest peak. But we'll see what it does in 6 minutes at the end of the hour. At least we can look right here and see the updates and just the timer going down. What else do I need here? What else do I need here? So we'll see if anything pops up, something that can be small or just something that can last for the time. Oh, this is looking pretty good. Let's refresh this. This is a pretty nice rejection of this level. This is on the 4-hour. kind of late to get into this opportunity now, but we can look for this to, for the Canadian to increase against the yen. We can definitely look to see the Canadian increase against the yen. I'm not sure. Let's see what these are looking like. Nice setup that passed a while ago. That was probably about, what, 5 hours ago? 4 hours ago? Sometime maybe when the Canadian was opening. And every other time frame that we take a look at, right now next to the daily zone, daily support. How nice, how beautiful. Amazing indicator. Amazing indicator nonetheless. This is exactly how I would analyze the market, look for the daily support and resistance, all that. So besides the thinking portion of it, just to understand those numbers, that's why this is also just a good pair to this. Understanding the numbers, that the win rate is what, 34%? We're just at 31, something like that. But our average risk to reward at the moment is 1 to 8. And we're still up on this account. I don't know what the percentage we're up is. Did it say? 31% at the moment. So that's not bad as well. This month, so far, we're up 6%. Not bad. You can see I haven't turned on that grid expert advisor yet. I would just have to maybe test that on my other computer, so it doesn't pop up on this to show all these canceled orders and trades, because trades in, I think these might, no, these don't add up. It's this, and this. No, something like that. I don't know. But the canceled trades happen ultimately however you can cancel a trade. There's a trade not placed yet. Or I believe if you try to make a trade and your broker stops you for reasons that aren't margin related, it may be canceled, like internet or stuff like that. But yeah, this likely to still keep going up. We're going to see what that other one does in a few minutes. This, at least from maybe sometime during this month, next month for sure, be able to allocate more time to this account and just more in growth. We could take this one as well. This one looks like a nice bearish move. If we go down to lower time frames, we're going to see a rejection of the resistance. So I'm going to show relevant ones, but there's definitely one right here for that interaction. I think I need to put this plus thing over here. But yeah, anytime you see big long candles like this, whether bearish or bullish, you can always have a good expectation that we would retrace into that candle. And then on the onslaught of back in trend. This one nicely set up as well. This is textbook right here, just for the fact that we broke out past the resistance, and this resistance is a range, is a zone we have to keep into consideration, and the fact that a lot of people may see this area having a few like key areas like this, and then this here that this might hold, but we still have extreme levels down here. I would say especially these two levels, because we do have that huge candle that I was just mentioning. So you have a lot of people might break this down to an order block or something. We're gonna get some pop-ups. So yeah, we do have these here, and then you have this doji candle followed by the really big bullish candle up. That area just is a highlighted area for where price can go down into. We can actually take an opportunity on this, why not? Our stop loss will be about 40 pips. The last one was about 4. Let me decrease this. At least I apply some more mental thoughts. And I can do this as a pending order as well, because we may come up a little to like here, which is in 8 pips. Yeah, let's do that. I think I'll be able to set the stop loss. Stop loss is going to be entry there, take stop loss here, 62.14. $62.14, and our target can be 1.60, 1.61. Let's do. So do something just like that. Oh, I got that pretty nice on. This is about risk 1 for, let's do some quick math. This is 34 for 74. 35 is 70. Is risk 1 for 2? This is not going to send over into the Discord because it's a pending order. Even if I were to like cancel it now, it would show in the metrics, but this here is going to only send to the Discord once it's activated. So we'll just do that. It's about risk 1 for 2.1 or something like that. We'll see what it's like when it actually takes, or if there's high volatility, high spread, or something at the time that just messes up the risk to reward. Who knows? 45. It's been 18 minutes. We'll see when the next update is, but yeah, that says about 20 minutes ago. It may update every 30 minutes at a minimum. And depending on the structure, if we don't tick into this trade and we get some other lower structure, I may just close this. But I figured we might as well wait to the retest. It looks like we would have that. Something quite consistent you'll be able to see, and that's why I also look out for the very large candles that don't have this. But you can see ever since the downturn, we kind of have a bearish candle, and then the wick comes back up into there. So we just don't have that yet for this case. I would like to see that before the further downside. Doesn't have to happen, but that's what I would like to see. Let me verify and double check. This didn't send. Yeah, no send. No send. And from higher time frame, that's what that looks like. Not too bad. So even the 4 hour could still do the same thing I was just mentioning, where we could come up into that level a little higher. And we're rejecting the negative 27 level. So not bad at all. Let me see what was on my list. We have all of this area that we can ultimately backtrack through before this trend even becomes bearish. What was I? So yeah, the indicator, you can ultimately sign up for free. Go here to, once you log in, you'll end up here. Go to the initiate program, and then you have everything here. The complex way that the way that I go through and explain the Fibonacci, all explained here. And then there's the simple course just to understand what's happening on that daily time frame with that support and resistance. And then you can download the indicator here. I'll show you how to install it. It's all really set up for you to be able to use and profit from. I think we might get another. I think this may update. It's been what? It's been 15. It's almost been 30 minutes. It's been maybe about 22. So fuck. Clicked on the wrong thing. There's some likelihood for it. By the end of the day, I will close this if it's not active. Let me add that, because like I said, high spread, high volatility at the end of the day is not really the best entry price you might get. This whole system actually turns off at that point in time, just because you're going to get, your trading opportunities are not going to be as good at that time, or I would say just times of high spread and high volatility, and you're often going to get high spread and high volatility almost guaranteed at, definitely guaranteed at 5 p.m. or at the start of the new day, depending on where you're at. And then the other thing I had to do was okay, I got some little shit on my list. Cool. So been on it for about an hour now. First 10 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever, was wasted. But I think we covered everything. Like I said, this trade will be closed. Canceled, I should specify, if we don't trigger into it by the end of the day. Probably a few minutes before, 10 minutes before, if we're not in. I'll definitely get out. And this one too is counter trend, but I would expect for price to encounter this support that we had, this previous resistance into that turned support, and then we go from there ultimately. But that's it for this stream. I hope something was educational, that you learned something, that there's some takeaway. And if there's not, definitely just go through and get this indicator, because it'll speed up your analysis process. You can see how neat and handy it can be, just plotting those support and resistance. You know how many times people ask me how to draw the levels? These draw the levels for you. What a nice maneuver from support to resistance on this. And yeah, this is the trade we actually took. Absolutely marvelous. Absolutely marvelous trade. But that is all for this trade here. We're going to accept the loss that we took on EURUSD earlier. What did we do this on the 5 minute? So we're coming back a little. We tapped down into the 161. That's where we hit our stop loss. And now price is tracing back up. We'll come back to this maybe next stream. Let's lock it off so we can come back to this next stream and see what actually occurred. We'll have our whole range here. So we'll keep this in our memory, okay? Maybe there will be a clip of this. But we're taking this box is the entirety of the extreme. We'll actually put it at the start of the range. Just like that. And we'll come back and we'll see what it does. We took the loss on it. Very unfortunate. Could have been a good trade. We would be, I think, in profit now, or break even. But I'm not going to go through and do it again. We had one chance and fucked it up. So, yeah, we'll let that just do its thing. We just broke out today. We just broke out today. Broke out today. Look how nice this looks. Broke out today, right? And we have all of this resistance here that we're also peaking. Did we interact with this area here? No, not yet. So we're just peeking through some of these areas. It could be a spike tomorrow as well. We have a few hours left in the day, so we'll see how much lower or higher it wants to go. But this is clean. This is clean. Yeah, that being said, we will tune into another live stream in another day. This trade ended as a loss. You've seen we've taken some loser trades, some winning trades. We'll be seeing what this resulted in the Discord. And at the end of the week, we'll see the stats posted in there to see what the actual results were. We're up for the week. I think that's what the thing showed. The metrics showed. And we're going to run with that. So, that being said, we'll tune in to the next live.